I have to say, how you guys doing? This is Ronald Khalees, and I have to say, Monday Night Raw was actually off the chain. The end was a tragic finish, chaotic, and it was just a rampage. Because Rampage Jackson was guest host of TNA, and I have to say, the guest host of TNA was actually perfect. I liked their entertainment, and Rowdy Piper was getting involved. I don't know if he was heel, but he previously was involved with Mr. T, so he tried to get involved with Rampage. I don't know, I forgot what his 18 nickname is, but I think it was impressive that Rowdy Piper gets involved, and then with DiBiase Virgil, the guy with the crown, and then two other members of TNA with the interview, comes down and rescue them, and then he breaks free of the handcuff. I think that was the best entertainment set when he breaks free, and they fights everyone. I think that was the heroic situation where he gets trapped by three other guys, and three other guys came down to rescue him, and they have the strength to break that handcuff free, and I think that was impressive. And I have to say, I was a little bit interested to see that happen, squeeze in a little entertainment segment for WWE, and I think it was interesting how Jerry Lawler got his crowd back, and I think 18 were impressive guest hosts. I kind of like them, and I pay a lot of respect for what they did. For the first match of Monday Night Raw, I like Chris Jericho and The Big Show. And with Chris Jericho and The Big Show, I have to say that was interesting. Even though I like the submission challenge, it was a big cliche because The Big Show is going to win. They just probably voted body slam challenge just so they could humiliate Chris Jericho. And I bet apparently it was a little bit interesting how Chris Jericho tried to injure his arm for the body slam, but he tried to work his strength to try to get him to body slam the Big Show, but Chris Jericho kind of rejected the Big Show allowed him. I think that kind of steamed off the Big Show a little bit, and that was just chaotic, but great finish for the Big Show. Then he put a submission on Jericho, and I think that was a little bit interesting, and the body slam match looked a little bit cliche, from my opinion. Also, other matches that went on was with Teddy Long and Bret Hart. Both came out simultaneously and was welcomed as Teddy Long, general manager SmackDown, was welcomed to Monday Night Raw. It turned out Randy Orton came out and he wanted a match with Edge. He didn't care about the viewer's choice night, and then Edge came out and said, "Hey." He was just going to come out and injure his arm. He wanted a match. He said, "Oh, they should grant Randy Orton's wish." And it turned out it was because Edge wanted to injure him some more. And then it turned out the match, they had a vote to see which match do you want. One arm tied behind his back and two arms, but it was one arm tied behind his back everybody voted for. And Edge tried to untie his arm. He continued attacking Randy Orton. Referee tried to stop and retie his arm. Edge broke free again. It turned out it was a disqualification. I was very impressed about that finish. And I thought I could see a lot more than what we just saw before. You can see a lot more than what I just saw, and I think they could have put a win as Randy Orton wins or Edge wins after the match. They could have injured his shoulder after the match. I think that did happen after the DQ, and I have to say that was still impressive. And with the Diva Battle Royale, I think that was interesting a bit. I wanted to see Team Lay Cool and the Bella Twins really go at it, but Team Lay Cool eliminated the Bella Twins. I thought it was going to be the other way around, or I thought it was going to be just them four in the ring. But it turned out Maurice won the Battle Royale, and I have to say I was a little impressed to see Maurice win something. Instead of Eve Torres winning everything, but I have to say, apparently Eve Torres is the Divas champion. And it turned out with that type of hype, Maurice may be looking on getting the Divas Championship back. And I have to say that's a little bit impressive, a little bit what we were expected. Also, I want to talk about was also Vladimir Kozlov Santino with the dance-off. And I have to say that was a little bit over-entertaining. It was weird that they had a dance-off, and I think it was funny, hysterical. Everyone expected, I think they should have had an arm wrestling match. Got me interested. I was like, why are they having the dance off? That looked a little bit silly, but it was funny and entertaining, but it was they got a little too silly there with Santino. So, and it was weird. Also, what I want to talk about, and another match that went on was, Sheamus and Kane. Kane was investigating Sheamus, and he confronted, just because you're not on SmackDown, that doesn't excuse the fact that you were involved with my brother, The Undertaker. And I think he got silly there because he found out that he attacked Triple H and brutalized him just so he could make a name of himself. And I think it was a little bit true that he did make a name of himself, and Sheamus did try to make a name of himself, beating out legends and other people like that for that matter. And I just, I really think that it was a little bit of an interest to see that type of attack and that type of impact that Sheamus is making. But I think it was a good match, but Sheamus just sissied out. I thought Sheamus was going to win. I'm surprised he walked out of the match and got a count out. And I have to say I was a little bit shocked that happened. A little bit, it's not what I expected, but the match wasn't that good. It was horrible for a little bit, but it was a good match, good advantage to see both superstars evenly matched going at it. And I have to say that's probably one of my favorite matches. I just didn't like the end of it. And I have to say, another viewer choice match that went on was Drew McIntyre against Yoshitatsu, Goldust, and the Mystery Man. And I wasn't impressed with the Mystery Man because he made it too obvious that it was Matt Hardy. They could have made it more trickier and could have made the taunt more or less. He shouldn't have done that taunt. So if they show the shadow of him and he just stands there, or he does a different taunt, then you can see oh man, who is that guy? Who could it be? Because I know everybody's going to vote for the Mystery Man. And I think the Mystery Man was a little bit more interested. And it turned out, obviously, it was Matt Hardy. And then everybody voted for the Mystery Man. And then it turned out Drew tried to prevent the match from happening, saying, "No, back away." And then Matt Hardy was really want to get his hands on Drew. And it turned out that Drew was like, "Yes, match is not happening. You are suspended." And then Teddy Long said, he was not on SmackDown. He's suspended from SmackDown, but not from Raw, so it gave him a little loophole. And it turned out Matt Hardy beat it down Drew and got what he wanted a bit. I thought Drew McIntyre may sneak in a win and stuff, but it turned out Matt Hardy finally got what he wanted, put his hands on, brutalized Drew for trying to end his career and stuff. And that was an impressive impact. I really liked that match. It was okay from my point of view. And then it turned out for the final night, it was the Hart Dynasty against the Great Khali and Hornswoggle. I have to say that match was okay, impressive. I wanted them to see the Usos and the Hart Dynasty, but it turned out that would have been a pay-per-view match. It would have been a pay-per-view match to see the Usos against the Hart Dynasty. Hopefully it happens on Fatal 4-Way. I really can't wait to see them put their Unified Tag Team Champions up. I don't know if it's either a ladder match or a TLC match or one of their match specialties, but I think the match with Khali and Hornswoggle, it looked like a great team. Hornswoggle and Midget, Khali the Giant, and it looked like a great tag team. And I liked the end of it. It was a bit impressive, and it was okay at first, and it turned out good. It was good, and it was a bit interesting to see a Giant and a Midget go at it, and I think it was great. So, also another match that happened on the final night was. But after the match, where Hart Dynasty calling Hornswoggle, trying the Usos trying to attack him, and Hart Dynasty gave him a taste of their own medicine. And the match was a bit interesting, but ended a little bit too quick, but still interested though. Also in the final match is John Cena against CM Punk. I thought it was going to be John Cena against Jack Swagger, the world champion against the WWE Championship. I was hoping they would go at it, but it turned out, I don't know why they voted for CM Punk. It probably turned out the votes were fixed a bit, but I think the match was still good to see CM Punk and John Cena go at it. I thought John Cena was going to somehow pull the win, or Luke Gallows would interfere, help CM Punk win. It turned out neither of them won. Wade Barrett got involved. I was like, what does Wade Barrett do out there? I thought he was going to distract CM Punk. And then I didn't see Michael Tarver out there. I saw a few other rookies out there, and they attacked CM Punk and Luke Gallows. I was like, oh man, this is getting chaotic. And then they got in the ring, surrounded John Cena. I thought John Cena was going to survive the attack a little bit. Even though he was going to be brutalized, he was still going to get up from that brutal beating. It turned out he was completely beat down. They beat up Matt Striker. I was like, why They attacked Matt Striker, Jerry the King Lawler, Michael Cole disappeared, and then they attacked all the other WWE staff. And I have to say, that was a wreckage. I felt dizzy from all their attack. Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, which is completely different people. I mean, I could see Michael Tarver, David Otunga doing this type of stuff, but all the other three faces were like complete different people, especially Daniel Bryan. he still had that same aggressive personality when he beat down John Cena, saying you think you're better than me. I was expecting them to beat down The Miz. I was expecting, what were the Raw locker room doing? They probably thought that night was over. They probably didn't expect something like this to happen. And I have to say, I was a little bit shocked at that night. That night was tragic. I was dizzy watching it. I felt like it was a dream a little bit, but I was like, oh man, that was just Jesse Gabriel nailing the 450. That was just a breakdown. Seems like NXT was trying to send a message how they don't disrespect the rookies, and they see like with their union they're more powerful, but if you beat each of them down, it turned out the tables could be turned. So it was a still impressive night, still good. Josh C was carried on a stretcher, but let's just hope he's okay. But still an impressive night. Still like the night. It was awesome.